to Big VTV. Great to have you with us for a Tuesday night. Justin Nelson, Steve Chalmers with you. A lot to look back on from a very, very hectic and busy round 3 after the Easter break. Steve-o, of course, we're all back into it. Good to be back here.
Yeah, I was going to say, first of all, welcome back. It's
Thanks,
good to potentially have you back.
Potentially? Well, you think I'm going away next week?
Well,
there's a chance.
I'm not sure.
There's a chance.
You've run away from us a couple of times this season already, but it's good to see. Good to see you stick your face into the studio every now and then.
Yeah, every now and again. I'll be back here for a couple of weeks, just teeing up the next journey at the moment. So, hey, busy weekend. You get 3 rounds in, things start to settle.
Absolutely.
I know later on this week, tomorrow night we're going to look at the youthies, Thursday night we'll have a look at the seniors, but an in-depth look at the ladders as well. Mm-hmm. You tend to start to get a gauge, don't you?
Well, I think at about Anzac Day,
yeah,
I think you sort of look at the ladders and you see the teams up at the pointy end of the ladder and you think, you know what, they're going to be there for a long time this season.
Yep. Let's have a look at the round 3 results. Division 2 women. There they are up on screen. And Craigieburn celebrated Callie Bailey Lynn's 350th game. She's been running around for a fair while. She's started a family in the middle of all those 350 games. She's an absolute ripper, an iconic name out there at Craigieburn. So well done to Cal. And they got up. They had a good win.
Yeah, that's right. Led by herself. 13 points, 7 rebounds in her 350th. Fiona Darnell had a good weekend for the Breakers. She started off with 16 points and 17 rebounds.
Melbourne Uni got up over Coburg. Wasn't a great weekend for Coburg. We'll talk about them in a moment. Black Angels got up by 13. Fiddler on the Roof, 16 and 15. Very good. Brianna O'Connor is a shining light for the Giants, though. She had 25, 9 and 7 assists. Can I just stick with the Coburg theme?
Yep.
Because we'll go to Sunday's game, and they got absolutely pounded by Wallen.
Well, that's right, on their own home floor as well, 44-103. Brianna O'Connor, as you mentioned, just being a little bit too reliant on her, need a second, third wheel to go with her.
Yep.
She's stepping up as she would, but for Wallen, there was plenty of contributors. Tessa Ramsey had 33 points, 13 rebounds. Emmy O'Neill, 17 and 25. Jada Hunter, nearly a triple-double, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 10 assists, had 8 steals as well, so very impressive.
With Tessa Ramsey and Emmy O'Neill, that is a
big front court, isn't it?
Big front court. They're going to be hard to stop. Look, the other telling sign there for Coburg, absolutely need, as you rightly said, Steve, our second and third wheel with Brianna O'Connor. They gave up 103. They've given up 179 for the weekend. That is big points to be giving up.
Especially early on in the season too, because there's been a couple of times, it hasn't been triple digits, but it's been somewhat close to that where they haven't got over the line. I think they recorded a win potentially in round 1, but that number there is certainly concerning.
Well, they're not going to get head-to-head on Wallen this season.
No.
That ain't going to happen. Mornington and Melton, Thoroughbreds get up. Jenna Conroy, 19 points. Emily Attard had 19. Ash Wright with 16 and 10. Fiona Darnell, 10 and 15. A couple of double-doubles there for Darnell for Mornington. They do come out with a couple of losses, though. Collingwood, big winners over North East. I thought Collingwood had a chance here. Probably not as big as this. Got up by 35. Jada Buggs, 29 and 19 and 9 assists. Helen Roden, very good, 20 and 15. She's a nice little pickup for them, Helen Roden.
It was also a nice inclusion, I think, for Jada Buggs. It might have been her first or second game for the All-Stars. As you mentioned, those two names there are going to be really good for Collingwood moving forward.
And Blackburn got Sherbrooke. No Beck Ross for Sherbrooke. Andrea Belmonte, the pocket rocket from the Vikings, had a good one, 21 and 6. Blackburn get up. D2 men, there's the results up on screen. Plenty to talk about D2 men this week.
Did I see Ben Gay's return, or has he played before? Because I think he was missing for a couple of games down at the Coliseum.
Came off the pine on the weekend.
He did.
Not too sure, but Pakenham did have a good weekend. They won up on the border before returning on Sunday. More on the Sunday game at the moment. Liam Wright fighting a lone hand for North East with 17. Gazy had 15 off the pine. Big winners. Packy. Melton went down to Southern Penn. Colin Voss had 26 and 13 for the Sharks. Emmanuel Malou, 18 and 10 for Melton.
Yeah, Manny Malou, 18 and 10 as you mentioned. Just couldn't get the Thoroughbreds over the line. Like the look of Southern Peninsula, who I know Craig Freeman's very high on.
He's high on a lot of things when it comes to basketball. Mildura, Kelvin Henry, 31 and 10. I just clarified that very quickly. Kelvin Henry led the Heat to a 10-point win over Maccabi. I think these two teams are going to be right in the mix of it this season.
Okay.
Jared Mintz, great to have Mincy back in the country, and with the Warriors he had 33 and 13. It was a battle of the two imports, and Kelvin Henry got the job done. Now Sherbrooke and Campbell, I want to talk about this game. Campbell got up by 8. They look good, the Dragons. I like what Jeffo's done down there.
Okay.
Mark Jeff is coaching the team this season, also having a run around as well. It just directs traffic. He's in charge.
Is there anything different that he's doing down there? I know he brought back Kevin Anstey.
He's superstar. He's in charge. Got the old band back together, brought all the boys back in.
That's right, certainly bringing it all back.
He's a commanding enforcer as well. He's a leader, is Mark Jeffers. I think they're going to go very well, the Dragons, under his stewardship.
He'll like that little talk up there.
Yeah, no, very good. Eric Miraflores had 19 and 6 for Sherbrooke. Nat O'Hara had 23 and 4 for Campbell. Now, a couple of things.
Yes.
The Vulture, Kevin Anstey, he had a double-double on the weekend, 13 and 10. Great to see. I think his first game, he really struggled with his shot. Fair to say it was off. But he's showing, on the weekend, double-double.
Give him a little bit of time. It's all going to come back together.
The good news is,
by round 5.
Well, round 9 they've got a bye to celebrate his 50th. So it's great to have the Vulture back in the competition. He's taken a few weeks off, but when I saw a few years off. But when I saw the great man had 13 and 10 on the weekend, I just wanted to make sure we mentioned it on the show because he's a legend.
Probably only felt like he had a few weeks off.
Legend of the game. Just on Sherbrooke, their import Travis Julian.
Yes.
Gone.
Out.
I'm hearing he's departed our shores.
I'll tell you what, speaking of the Suns, Eric Miraflores had a massive weekend despite not recording a win.
Yes,
Massive.
he did. No, he did.
So he's really stepped up in Julian's absence.
Yes, he has. Can we just send a cheerio out to a really good mate of mine?
Yes.
He's a huge Kangaroo supporter. Not that's got anything to do with this conversation. But Jed Bentley, you're a star, mate. I know you had an injury a few weeks ago. Apparently done an ACL, so he's going to be sitting on the sidelines for a bit. Jed, you're a superstar, mate. I wish you well. Speedy recovery. Hope to see you back out on the court shortly because you're a ripper.
Good.
Craigie Byrne got up over Coburg by 12. Aaron Carlton had 18 points. Paddy Green, 22 for Coburg. Nice win, Craigie Byrne.
Well, it is. Craigie Byrne were there or thereabouts last year, so
Yes.
they expect to be at the pointy end of the season in 2018. Coburg, you weren't here, but on Friday we touched a little bit on their offensive side of things.
Yep.
So it was good to see Craigie Byrne get a double-digit win over the Giants.
Can I put it on Coburg? One of the most inconsistent teams in D2 men over the last 3 years. If they can find consistency in that team, they are very capable.
Well, while we're on it, they also went down to Wallen at home on the Sunday by 4 points. James Weston had 15 off the bench. Brent Radoslavich had 31 for the Panthers. There's another L that the Giants copped.
Speaking of the Panthers, did I read this right?
Yep.
Is that Papsy's 400th game coaching?
400th game as coach, so big congratulations to him out there.
You got nothing better to do with your time, Papsy, or what's going on, mate? 400 games. That is unbelievable.
Fantastic achievement.
It's an incredible achievement. Well done. I don't know how you've put up with players for 400 games, Papsy. Well done, mate. Credit to you. That is an awesome effort, and he has been a wonderful coach in a number of different programs. One of the most respected guys in Big V for a long, long time. So, Papsy, well done, mate. 400 games, awesome effort. Melton went down to Altona. Malou had 28 and 16. Nathaniel Curry had 23 points for Altona. Nice win by the Gators on the road. Now, here was the big one on Sunday. This was the big game, and it lived up to all expectations. These two teams, or people from these two teams, know each other very, very well, and there was a comeback on the weekend.
Just a little bit of a rivalry.
Bit of a rivalry.
Okay, well, Pakenham defeated Sherbrooke by 2 points. Josh B. Allen had a double-double, 27 and 10 boards. Benny Gaze backed up his good performance on Saturday night with 20 points and 6 rebounds. As I mentioned, Eric Miraflores, 33 points, 12 rebounds, 8 dimes. Nick Spicer, hot and spicy, you've dubbed him, 28 points for him. 2-point game. And Pakenham got over the line.
I heard a little bit of a whisper while I was away that Hot and Spicy has put it out there that no one's ever called him Hot and Spicy.
Except for you.
And now everyone calls him Hot and Spicy. So, bad luck, Nick. Hot and Spicy from here on in. Stretch Reed, Brent Stretch Reed. You're not going to get away with this.
He's back.
You're not going to get away with this, Stretch.
Saw that.
I did see in the stats that the great man ran out on the weekend.
Yes.
Had a game. I don't know how his legs were feeling after the game. He would have been completely worn out. Would have been the first one to the bar. There's no doubt about that. But Stretch, great to see you back out there, old man. Well done.
Absolutely.
Former colleague right here on Big V TV. Great to see the great man out there on court once again. D1 women, there's all the results on the weekend. Busy weekend, some big results. Latrobe, Whittlesea, Warrnambool, Camberwell, Geelong, Chelsea and Casey get the wins.
Cool.
Of note, Warrnambool splitting the weekend. Camberwell big winners over Warrandyte. Keep an eye on the Dragons.
Well, there's 3 big games that I certainly highlighted from D1 women. The first one obviously was Camberwell. Jazz Orman off the bench, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. She's been running around for a few years now.
Had a couple of years off. Had a couple of years off, Jazz.
Really stepping up right about now.
Might have been one season off. One of my favourites, Jazz Orman. She's a ripper. Great to see her up and about with 17 and 8 for Camberwell. That's a big win over Warrandyte. Warrandyte haven't started well.
No.
Can we
to say the least.
Dropping down in Division 1, they haven't started well. Whittlesea up in Mildura was a terrific win.
Yeah, especially when Mildura got 29 points out of Vanessa Power, 13 points, 15 rebounds and 6 dimes out of Alexis Gassian. You put those two together, Mildura aren't going to drop many games, especially on their home floor. Holly Bowman's 19 points and a real team effort from the Pacers. They look them over the line.
They look a tough unit, the Pacers. Very, very strong. Geelong, interesting on the weekend, got Warrnambool by 6. Shadbolt with 16 points. Tess Fury, great to see Tess running around. 12 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals. They get up by 6 over Warrnambool. Warrnambool got up over Werribee by 9 with Wormold having 17. Michaela Dixon played her 100th game, 23 points for Chelsea, got up over Hawthorn by 5. If you missed the news, Rani Cox now playing for the Magic. She had 22 in that game. And Casey got up over Werribee by 7. No Billy Lucas in that game for Casey, by the way. Rachel Wansborough was at Chelsea,
Swapped.
is now at Warrandyte. So keep an eye on that one. Came in for her first game on the weekend. D1 men.
Massive week.
10 games in D1 men.
Not just through the games, but some of the results. It all kicked off on Friday night as well, and it went the extra 5 minutes overtime period. Collingwood got the 6-point win over Whittlesea.
How good are the All-Stars going? Yeah, they've played 3 of their first 4 games at home.
Yes.
They look very good at home.
They have.
Yeah, they've won all 3. They are up and about, the All-Stars.
Manny Hendricks, 30 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. Good to see Dylan Webb chime in too. He had 27 and 11. That was probably his best game of the season thus far.
Danger sign Steve-O, Latrobe City. Haven't had a great start to the season. Went down to Western Port. Dylan Travis is a star for the Steelers. 29 and 10, 9 assists. Davey Crockett had 15 for Latrobe City. Only suited up with 7 players at home.
Yeah, I think that's...
You literally don't have to travel. You're at home.
That's the most concerning part is that for the Energy, just the 7 guys. Questionable signs there.
Haven't had a great start to the season. The Energy, hope they can turn it around soon.
How's this for a result?
Speaking of teams that have had a great start to the season, Keezy got Chelsea by 8. Now, I reckon it's one of, if not, take away finals, regular season, it's one of Keysborough's best wins since entering the Big V. Got to be right up there.
Minus finals, yes.
Got to be right up there, outside of finals.
I think the most surprising part was this result was Stander, Fabrassa and Frost all still contributed.
Yes.
They didn't really limit one of them. It's just that Keysborough just outplayed them the whole time, the whole team. Really, really well done.
Kelvin Inch had 30 points in that one. Benny Moore, very important off the pine for 16 points. 35 to 24 last quarter. Stander for 30 and 10. Brasser 28. Can I say this to Chelsea? Because Chelsea only just got up on Sunday against Bulleen. Yes. They were very lucky to get that one. Standerfer, terrific. Brasser, terrific. Frosty, terrific. They need a few others to step up. They were tested on the weekend and they split it. Sunbury went down to Shepparton. Loving the Gators right now. And I'll tell you who I'm loving at the Gators. Spencer Coleman and Cameron Vines.
I'm glad you mentioned both of them because I wasn't sure if you were going to go one way or the other. But those two guys really propelling the Gators this season.
They are probably the best duo in the competition right now.
Division 1 men, yes.
Yep, 28 and 13 for Coleman. Vinesy had 24 and 14, 7 assists, 2 strong for Sunbury. It's going to be a long year for the Jets, I
think so. I think so.
Melbourne Uni and Geelong.
Well, this was Brandon Armstrong's debut. And it was a funny story because he came down here on an invitational team. His last game then was against Geelong. His first game back against the Supercats. But they went down to the Supercats, mind you. Masunda, 21 points. Armstrong had 15 points and 7 steals on debut. Lewis Barley had 29 points and 7 rebounds and 4 assists before not playing on Sunday.
Yeah, he didn't play, but Emerson came in.
Yes.
Lewis Varley can hit a 3, mind you. Good win for Geelong on the road. Chelsea got up over Bulleen by 4. Lucky Chelsea, lucky. Stando for 24. Frosty the Snowman had 17. Varmel 24 for Bulleen. Howard had 16 and 10. Shepparton too strong for Whittlesea. They look a great unit. Coleman 30 and 19, Vinesy 27 and 14. Love watching them at the moment. Zeverona, who hasn't been shooting well at all, finally got some points. Had 20 for Whittlesea. Warrandyte and Melbourne Uni went into OT on a buzzer-beating 3 that was nearly the length of the floor from the Black Angels.
That's right.
But Warrandyte got on by 4 in OT.
That's right, as you just saw there. Thanks to Andrew Barrett via Instagram. Yindi Sprewell has come into the Venom program and really put on a show. He had 26 points, 16 rebounds and 3 assists again. Nick Masunda continued his good start to the season with 23, 7 and 5.
Venom haven't lost. I don't think they've lost a game, Steve.
They're looking pretty good, aren't they?
Oh, well, did you have any inclination whatsoever that this was coming?
No.
Great start. Roscoe Charles and the crew doing a great job down there at Warrandyte. And finally, Warrnambool got Geelong. Blount had 26. Bidmaid had 21. Emerson Varley in for Geelong with 24. Vekic had 17 and 14. Nice work, Warrnambool. Geelong split the weekend. Western Port and Keysborough got no idea if the game even happened.
Well, it would have.
Well, can we get some results?
If you know the score, if you know some stats, send it in before.
Just put it up on the Facebook page
as quick as you possibly can, because we're going to find out quicker than you.
Well, Western Port, were they running stats out there on the weekend? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Let's go to State Champ Women. 5 games all Saturday night. Nothing to do for the State Champ Women on Sunday.
Well, they had a free day off.
They had a free day off.
They all organised together.
Went to the beach.
And said, let's have a day off on Sunday.
They did. There's the results up on screen. Southern Peninsula, Sunbury, Ringwood, Waverley. Talk about that game in a moment. And Hume get the wins.
Really liked the Southern Peninsula win over Keilor. It was a big margin, which I didn't expect. Liv Pollard, up-and-coming star.
Good.
26 points and 5 rebounds.
Yep, looking very good. Sunbury, too strong for Bulleen. That was the grand final rematch.
Yes.
Elise Penaluna.
It's going to be a bit different this season.
I did pick her in my fantasy team, Elise Penaluna, for good reason, 26 and 6. Ringwood got McKinnon. Score probably flat as McKinnon there towards the end. Ringwood had this one sewn up. Megan Krisha had 19, 13 and 6 blocks for McKinnon. Mel Ioannidis, 150th game. Well done, Mel. Congratulations. But Mahelko, 23 for Ringwood. Piper Goldie, I should say. Piper Goldie, who's a young junior that's come through the Ringwood program, stepped up into the seniors, doing very well, Piper. So well done, mate. 18 points in that game. Waverley and Knox was the big one, and the Falcons got it.
Yeah, Tegan Cunningham back in the lineup, came off the bench.
That won't last.
This week.
That won't last.
No, it won't last long. But Kelly Bowens, 15 points, 5 rebounds. There's a host of other contributors as well from the Falcons. Just Pip Knox at the post. Emily Fisher pacing the way there with 23.
Hume got Eltham. Nicole Zammit, 23, 4 and 5 for the Broncos. Eltham, of course, didn't have Alice Koenig, who's away with the Opal. State champ men. Big weekend, massive weekend. There's the results up on screen, and there were some absolute beauties.
Yeah, it started off with your mob, McKinnon. Great winners over Ringwood, 98 to 91. Impressed with a kid named Adrian Tomato.
Yeah, good kid. Ripper of a kid. Works hard. Just a tireless contributor to the team. Had 29 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 steals. Ivan Platnik, the destroyer, had 23 and 11. Jacob Gibson, I've got to tell you,
can play,
can shoot. Had 34 points in that game. He was a ripper. Matty Fennell had a good weekend, 18 and 7. McKinnon get it by 7 over Ringwood. That's Ringwood's first loss of the season.
I believe so, yeah.
Blackburn up over Casey. Nice win, Blackburn. I think that was their first win. And Brennan Truella, what a game.
Well, it was interesting. This has been dated back since round 1, where I think these guys, both teams had circled this in the calendar. There's a little bit of back and forth between these two teams.
Off the court?
Off the court, okay. Yeah. So it was good to see it finally come to fruition. And obviously, Brennan Truella, 25 points, 7 assists, 6 steals. He contributed. Ryan Benson off the bench at 21. It was also good to see Raheem Lemons had a double-double. Bit of chatter about Raheem not going to produce against the Vikings.
One team you do not fire up is the Vikings. No. They're a very close unit down there. Just beware, don't get stuck into them. Good to see them get a win. Well done to Blackburn up into state champ men. Eltham over Corio.
Big winners.
It was a big win. 113 to 56. Sammy Whelan, 23 off the bench for Eltham. Chris Cameron had 18 points. Corio Bay will have to go away and have a look at that. And look, to be honest with you, Hutchie and the crew down there, when you have a result like that, just get it under the carpet as quickly as you can and just move on.
Yeah, look, I think through the first couple of rounds they've been competitive. I don't think we expected too much out of Karai Bay this year, but a result like that we don't want to see continue.
No. Just move on very, very quickly. Focus on the future. They'll be fine. Hutchie's a really good leader down there. He'll get them back up and going, no doubt. Knox got Waverley. Nice game. Chris Carver 19-9. Jaquez Motley had 16-5 for Waverley. Knox will be happy with that. Really close contest.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. Knox would be happy with it because they just hadn't looked really the same as years past the Raiders, so it's good to see them get a win on the board.
Hume got Werribee by 14. This was close there for a while, and then Hume just came home strong. Lukey Egan is about 48 now. He is one of my all-time favourites in Big V. He's a class act. He's a ripper of a bloke. Lukey knows I love him. He has just been a sensation in this competition. 31-6. He just comes out and keeps doing what he does.
Well, he's unbelievable, isn't he? Time doesn't move for him. 31 points again on the weekend, and he's been doing it since day dot.
Mate, unbelievable. He got his licence back when you just needed to roll up to the cop shop and drive the copper down to the milk bar for a soda. Lukey, well done, mate. Love watching you play. Ringwood got Hawthorn by 14, so the Hawks bounced back. Matty Fennell had 30, Jacob Gibson 20. Hume, good weekend for them. They then got Blackburn by 8, Trevon Clayton 18-12, Rose 18, Egan another 18 points, Jekka 16, so good spread of scorers. Truella had 18 for Blackburn. And then finally, Keilor and McKinnon both went in unbeaten. McKinnon with a 31-11, I think, last quarter, got up by 10.
Yeah, Dylan Stith obviously producing again, 33 points. Adrian Tamata, 12 points, 10 rebounds and 3 assists for a point guard.
Hannah Mosquera Pereira, 15-14 for Keilor. Keep an eye on this guy. He is a giant.
Okay.
Giant. Throws it down and barely leaves the floor. He is an absolute giant. Jordan Coleman had 24 points in the first half, ended with 25. His first half was off the charts, had a ripper. Look out for him this season. He's going to, well, we already know what he did at Keilor last season.
Grand final MVP last season.
But he is going to keep producing and surprise a few teams up at state champ level this season. So
I'd be interested to see surprise. I think a lot of teams have scouted him pretty well.
He's a good player. Very good player.
No doubt.
Okay, so there it is. 3 rounds down there. Coming up tomorrow, back at the desk, we are going to have an in-depth look at the youthy ladders after the opening 3 rounds, but we're also going to call our top 5 certainties. Lock it in. Concrete will not change. These things will definitely happen this season for the youth divisions. And we're going to do the same for the seniors on Thursday night. So a little bit of fun coming up, Steve.
Yeah, certainly looking forward to it. And then you can sort of heckle us back at the end of the season when we got it entirely wrong.
Well, some of us will get it right and some of us will get it completely wrong. Have a great night. We'll be back here at the desk tomorrow night, same time, same place on Big V TV. See you then.